2 centuries after the end of civilization, this girl comes out of the bunker to have a look around. Monstrous creatures and mutant zombies are only a small part of what the surface has in store for her. Welcome back to Cinesynthesis. Sit back and enjoy the show. Decadent actor Cooper Howard now works as an entertainer for rich kids. He has seen a birthday party get ruined in many different ways by now, but surely a full-blown nuclear apocalypse is a first. At the sight of the mushroom clouds, all Cooper can do is ride away with his daughter, hoping to reach some kind of safety. While the guests panic and run for their lives, the lucky few simply step into their bunker. Now, let's see how these people are doing 219 years later. Hank McLean is the proud overseer of Vault 33, where culture is stuck somewhere in the late 60s and everyone is afraid of the surface. His daughter Lucy is getting married today, but she doesn't know her husband yet. As the candidates from Vault 33 are all related to her, the poor girl had to import from Vault 32. The groom arrives with a group of representatives. Because the inter-vault doors don't open very often, weddings are also an opportunity for trade. After Hank delivers a heartwarming speech about recolonizing the surface one day, the bride takes her new toy for a test drive. By the time she begins to suspect that something is wrong, it's already too late. These people are not from 32. They're all raiders from the surface, including her better half. Led by a woman named Moldaver, the invaders trash the place, ransack their provisions, and abduct Hank. Meanwhile, a young man named Maximus is having a hard time on the surface. He is an apprentice at the Brotherhood of Steel, a group of fanatics obsessed with pre-war tech. Each knight is given an opulent war suit and a squire. Maximus is training to become a squire one day, but the classes are abruptly interrupted by the unexpected arrival of a group of knights. In the vault, Lucy wants to send a search party to find her father. People think that must be the trauma talking. No one in their right mind would open the outer door, especially after what just happened. With the help of her brother, Norman, Lucy disobeys the acting overseers and leaves the vault for the first time in her life, bravely stepping into the wasteland. At the same time, Maximus has just become a squire to Knight Titus. The clerics announce that someone has escaped the mysterious enclave. The man is in possession of something that can change the future, and the Brotherhood wants that juicy relic real bad. Maximus is given a sketch of the target and his canine companion. They are not the only ones hunting the fugitive, though. Whatever this man is carrying, a lot of people find it extremely valuable. A bounty on his head is why these 3 idiots are digging up a ghoul, which is a person severely altered by radiation, sometimes to the point of becoming a zombie. And this particular ghoul happens to be someone we know, Cooper Howard. That's what happened to him then. When the bandits tell Cooper about the bounty, he loves the idea so much that he eliminates them to pursue it alone. In the morning, Maximus and Knight Titus are dropped off to begin their mission. Maximus is disappointed to see that Titus is not only a coward, but also sadistic and irresponsible. When a mutant beast attacks them, Maximus refuses to help and takes the knight's suit for himself. Enjoying his new status, he begins to explore the surroundings. That takes us to the lawless town of Philly, where many things are happening at the same time. A grumpy shopkeeper is explaining to Lucy that vault dwellers are spoiled brats, and nobody is going to help her find her rich daddy. The ghoul is sitting outside with a shotgun, his eyes fixed on the same shop. A scientist and his dog have just arrived. When the ghoul makes a move towards his target, Lucy steps in to defend him, much to everyone's amusement. It gets a bit less funny for the ghoul when Maximus flies there in the high-tech suit, ready to be a worthy knight. Unfortunately, he is still too unfamiliar with the equipment, and the ghoul takes advantage of that. The scientist gets badly hurt in the messy conflict, and Lucy helps take him inside. The shopkeeper then reveals that Moldaver had paid her to help the man reach the raiders' hideout. Lucy agrees to take the scientist there, hoping to trade him for Hank. When they stop to rest, the man says everyone wants his head. That was obvious, except that he means his head in a literal sense. He asks Lucy to chop it off and take it to Moldaver as soon as the cyanide pill he just took kicks in. It's not long before the ghoul tracks them to that spot and finds his target with a major missing piece. Maximus has also recovered from the clumsy battle. He gets a call from the Brotherhood through the suit radio and impersonates Titus. They seem to fall for it, but then he makes a huge mistake and says that he has tragically lost his amazing squire. The clerics insist on sending him a new one right away, despite his protests. It's Thaddeus, one of his old bullies at the Squire Academy. Lucy is already miles away from them now. When she stops to rest, a giant aquatic monster attacks her and takes the scientist's head. To make things worse, the ghoul arrives right after that and takes her as a hostage. However, the radiation trail that he leaves behind allows Maximus to track them. When they reach that same spot, the monster shows up again and almost eats Thaddeus. Maximus saves his squire despite the history between them, and his prize is a spat-out scientist's head. The ghoul forces Lucy to walk under the sun and without water for miles and miles. Then they reach a bizarre establishment where he trades her for some stuff he needs. As she enters the place, a robot kindly informs her that she's about to become an organ donor. Lucy is sedated and taken to the operating room, together with many other victims. She manages to break free before the surgery begins and reprograms the robot to attack its masters, the same men who own that horrid organ shop. Meanwhile, in the vault, Lucy's brother and their cousin Chet are conducting an investigation. Whatever happened to Vault 32 was weirder than they thought. They find out that the door was opened from the outside with a key that once belonged to Lucy's mother. As Lucy leaves the shop of horrors, she finds the ghoul collapsed on the ground. His particular condition requires constant medicine intake, and he probably ran out. Determined to prove that the wasteland won't make a monster out of her, she gives him what he needs to recover before leaving. That night, Maximus gets caught off guard, and Thaddeus finds out that he is not Titus. Infuriated, the squire locks the suit and leaves with the scientist's head, leaving Maximus as food for the giant roaches. Now it's Lucy's turn to save Maximus. She also tells him that she inserted a tracker in the head and they can easily find it. As they are both chasing it, they agree to take it to the Brotherhood and ask the clerics to help Lucy get her father back. But before they go anywhere, Maximus will need some kind of medical attention. They find a place that looks like an abandoned clinic. But as soon as they cross a specific door, the corridor is filled with gas, and they both black out. To their astonishment, they wake up in Vault 4. While Maximus is delighted at the luxurious lifestyle he could never taste, Lucy has mixed feelings about that place. The vault accepts surface dwellers too, and that would be unthinkable back at 33. Later, she witnesses strange rituals and is shocked to find out they worship Moldaver as a hero. She convinces Maximus to leave with her. They soon meet Thaddeus, who has been tricked by a witch doctor into taking a strange substance. He realizes that he's turning into a ghoul himself. That means the Brotherhood won't take him back, and he has no use for the head anymore, so he lets Lucy have it. Learning that he had already contacted the clerics and they're on their way, Maximus decides to stay behind and distract them with a decoy head to buy Lucy some time. Meanwhile, Norm has secretly entered Vault 31. He finds a room where all the high-ranking Vault Tech executives are frozen. It turns out that these people are to blame for the entire calamity, and one of them was Cooper's wife. They provoked the war themselves, creating the need for their product at the same time that they gave themselves a chance to rebuild the world from scratch one day. Shockingly, Hank McClane is one of the people involved as well. And that's not all. When Lucy finally finds her dad, she also learns the truth about him. He was responsible for destroying a thriving city years ago, only to keep Vault Tech relevant and necessary. It's the same city where Maximus lived, and the attack changed his life forever. Hank's wife, Rose, left the vault when she learned the truth behind all the hype. She tried to take the kids with her, but he took them back. Lucy is devastated to realize that the decrepit creature before her eyes is not a mummy, but her mommy. And she still can't believe her dad was capable of so much betrayal. That's when the Brotherhood and the ghoul arrive. And once again, everyone wants the same thing, the cold fusion device. Hank begs Lucy to help him, but shows his true colors as soon as Maximus opens the cage. When the ghoul sees Hank, he is so surprised that his nose falls off. Just kidding, that was already gone. He lets Hank steal the armor and fly off because he knows where he's going. New Vegas, the city where the world rulers pull the strings from. The ghoul has been waiting all this time to find that place because maybe his family's there. Lucy agrees to go with him, but not before putting her poor mother to a much-deserved rest. Moldaver is seriously injured, but manages to activate the device before dying. Maximus gets to see the lights beginning to appear at different points in what was once his beautiful hometown. When the clerics get to them, Maximus is celebrated as a hero for defeating Moldaver. Do you like this ending? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more stories like this.